Awesome.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good Hawaii, whatever time zone you happen to be in. Welcome to our call today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you. Be sure that as we get this started that you text out our teams. We have a couple little reminders and then a little bit of inspiration. I was just mentioning earlier that I love being able to visit with you guys midweek. It's a great pick-me-up. And I have the honor of sharing some thoughts of what has inspired me over the past couple days, over the past week. To begin, I want to, Stu, if I may, I want to call on you. Stu was just talking with Angie, excuse me, about our incentive trip. And I thought that I'd turn some time over to him to hear his thoughts on that. Stu?
Yes, thank you. Like Gil and Aaron said in the very beginning, most, not most, but a lot of our qualifiers are there in Punta Cana, enjoying the warm weather, the beaches over there. And so I look forward to our next incentive trips where those on this call and the many that's in your team, we all get to participate in the next incentive trip. And those incentive trips are wonderful. If you have never been on one, it's full of fun. Work, not as much, but working as far as networking with other members, other leaders, especially other leaders from other countries. That's the whole purpose of these incentive trips, is to draw unity and bonding. But there in Punta Cana, there was 45 qualifiers and their spouses. So 90 people plus corporate, looking at about 100 of our ACTIVZ family enjoying an all-inclusive resort right there near the beach. I know yesterday they celebrated April birthdays. They had soccer game at the beach. They had pool games there. They had a reception where they had games and they had giveaways of exclusive swag items. Today they'll be doing some excursions on bottomless glass boats. They'll be snorkeling with the fishes, or driving buggies throughout the nice terrain over there. So it's fun of full events, and more than anything else, it's a place where family like ourselves get together, people who are like-minded, sharing experiences, both good and bad, and then helping to overcome those or replicating those that are very successful. So I just hope that each of us can make it a goal on our next trip incentive to get there so we can see each other and have fun. Back to you, Dale.
Excellent. Thanks, Stu. All right. I mean, I can't really add much more to that. I'm excited for next year. Okay, let's move on to another topic. I want to remind you that this next Tuesday is our medical forum, okay? This is a place where you and your prospects or anyone in your team can have their questions answered as to the different kinds of medical procedures and research and science that is in and went into the design of each of our supplements. That includes Arrow. So if you go in and you write down your questions, you still have about a week, a little under a week, 5 days or so, that you can start submitting your questions. I'm going to be posting the email to that. In fact, I can do that right now. That email is medicalforum@activz.com. So if you have any questions you want to ask about specific products or specific elements, like butyric acid was a big one. Tetrahydrocurcumin is another huge one. Anything that you'd like to get into when it comes to these questions, go ahead and submit those. All right, let me forum@activz.com. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, let your teams know, disseminate that throughout your teams. Let anyone that is curious, even if it's a prospect, let them know that this is where you can get some of those questions answered in a more scientifically based and grounded way. Not only that, but if you want to help them stay on top of the events that we have scheduled, we also have our calendar. Now, I've disseminated that on our different direct marketing apps, so WhatsApp and Telegram. I'm also sending you a link to our calendar so that you can download that to your own calendar. Whatever event interests you, you will get your own reminders, all that stuff. All right, reminder for April. This is basically the last week, last 10 days, last 11 days or so of the month. And as they say, it's like a cliche at this point, April showers bring May flowers, and we want to shower you guys with awesome benefits for our promo. So during this month, the last of this month, when you place an order of 200 plus PV, you'll get a free genomics. At 300 plus, you'll get a free genomics and a free link. And at 400 plus, you get the full trifecta. That's genomics, link, and Optimend absolutely free. Then fast forward over to May, and you're thinking, what might be better than that? Well, we're also doing, if you reorder 200 plus PV, you get a complete set of Emora absolutely free. And by the way, that's also fantastic for our Mother's Day stuff. So throw that into your Mother's Day gift basket. Okay, as a reminder, again, this is the last 11 days of the month, and that means that you have this last couple days to qualify for the 500 club for this quarter. That means that you complete 10 distributor enrollments in 90 days. So this is your last 11 days of that 90-day period. You guys can do it. I believe you can. And I know that your teams can. I know each of you can. One of the tips that I've heard that has helped out a lot of people is you plan out the number of people that you want to enroll on a given day. You disseminate whatever your total is, split it up into little chunks. And you know what? If you've just accepted and convinced yourself, I'm not going to try it, remember that this is a regular thing, okay? Pay attention to when we announce it so that you can be on the curve and write it out for that month, for that quarter. I really believe that as you've worked over the course of the quarter, and as you arrived at this point, you might be thinking, should I keep pushing? The answer is yes. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Prove it to yourself. All right. To close off today, I thought that I would add only a couple other things. A lot of times we get so excited about our products because we know they work. I mean, Aaron is literally, I talk with him, I pick his brain every now and then, talking about how I can get his experiences on paper to share with people on social media. And we think to ourselves, why shouldn't the world know about this? Why shouldn't the world just jump on this? Well, I was reading a little bit in this book, GoPro, and I'm sure that a couple of you might have heard about it. If you jump over to page 40, that's actually the one that I was kind of flipping through and trying to find some inspiration for. And I remembered the first time that I read this, I thought, holy cow, this was a game changer. And he kind of describes it that way. So he describes himself, he was younger and he had like something like 18 jobs before he was 23, like crazy, right? He says he'd tried everything, and I'm going to read from it for you. I was like a hunter with the goal of bagging an elephant. I went around with a gun or opportunity in hand and shot at everything that moved. I didn't really care about relationships. All I cared about was getting that new recruit. My attitude was, some will, some won't. So what? What's next? But because I was a hunter, everyone around me felt hunted, and they would start to avoid me. And it wasn't fun. Even worse, the people I did get to join my business tried to do the same thing I was doing, failed, and then quit. So he goes on with this about for another 3 or 4 years, he says. Then he realized that the most successful people in network marketing are not hunters. They don't pursue. They don't pick someone up and say, are you going to help me out? Okay, no, drop you and you're gone. They're the kind of people that will cultivate a relationship like a farmer. I think that one of the most important tips, this is true for network marketing, it's true for anything outside in your life. When you take the time to cultivate the relationships that you have with a prospect, with a new friend, if you're really trying to expand your market before you get into the technical, it's about developing and culturing that relationship. I want to leave that with you today, just to think about, just ponder how it is that you can improve on that. If you have questions, again, be texting your teams. If you really want to have the opportunity to expand your awareness of how to relate to people better, what better way than to talk to people that you trust, people within your team that will help you and guide you to become the person that you want to be. Pick their brain. Don't be afraid to do it. I know that I've taken time out of my day, sometimes probably more than I should, to pick David Brown's brain. And I learned a lot. I know I'm a 20-something-year-old guy, okay? I'm not afraid to ask questions. And I think that sometimes that's the best way for us to go about our business. Never be afraid to ask a question. pursue those relationships, build them up, culture them, and you will have greater success. That's my thought. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a blast. For next week, let me see. Jocelyn just sent a message. Got it. Thank you so much. I'll make sure that that gets taken care of. All right. That's all that we have for today. Again, thank you for being here.
Well said,
Next
Dale.
time-
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
After-
Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.